Now we are going to continue here a little bit further. We're not going to accept the new restaurant order yet, because I want to get this. I want to get this campsite that's over there, which is going to give us a campsite task. These tasks are preset at specific campsites, so once we have accept, this is a alert elk call, by the way, so I know that this is an elk and he's alert. But we're not looking for elk right now, so that's good. We can just ignore him. The important thing to know is that once we have accepted this campsite task and accepted the new restaurant order, we are going to go on a scenic tour through this entire map to pick up every campsite order and every cabin mission. Because if you only do one mission at a time, this game can be really frustrating sometimes, because you're not always guaranteed to find the animals you're looking for, and then maybe you find something else that's useful along the way, but you're not carrying the right rifle, etc. So I like to just pick up as many missions as possible, so that no matter where I'm going or what I'm seeing, I will always find something worth shooting. And obviously, as we complete missions, that is going to become less and less possible, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, there's a fox. Hi. Alerted female fox. There she is. Oh no, that's the male. Where's the female? She's gotta be... Oh, there she is. You're 1-star adult. You can go. I don't need you. Be free, little fox. No lead for you today. Is there a need zone around here? Yes, there is. Ha! I knew you were not just standing here for nothing. A resting zone, okay. Now what's important to note is that a need zone is much bigger than just this tiny little bit that you see here on the map. And it is also much bigger than this icon. A need zone, depending on what type of need zone it is and what animal it belongs to, can be up to 300 meters in radius. So you gotta keep that in mind when you're looking for animals. Especially the predator need zones can be really big because they encompass the feeding and resting zones of their prey. So they can be pretty huge. And here we have a campsite. So the campsites work as fast travel points. And also, every campsite... Oh, is this the same fox? I think so. Every campsite has a fireplace where you can technically sleep to change time. We're not going to do that right now, but this is really useful if you want to hunt a specific animal at a specific hour. Keep in mind that if you want to advance to the next year, which again, 3 in-game days is 1 year. If you want to advance to the next year, you cannot just sleep span. You cannot just say, oh, I'm just going to sleep 24 hours 3 times and then I'm going to have new animals. No. You need to spend at least a little bit of time every year actually on the map. Not in menus, not in this screen, on the map, in order for a year to count. Alright, let's pick up our 2 tasks. And these campsite tasks, man, they get wild. So, some of the campsites will also have a map. When you interact with the map, it will give you new highlights, new points of interest that you can explore. We don't need any of these. This one is another campsite. We're going to pick that up soonish, I think. Alright. Let's see. As of late, we have registered a number of incidents that involve unethical badger hunting. The hunters in question don't shoot badgers when they have the opportunity. Instead, perpetrators continuously scare badgers until they reach the bottom of their burrows and spend the last few living seconds agonizing in fear. Unfortunately, this practice remains legal, and we don't see it changing anytime soon, despite active statewide campaigning to regulate badger hunting more. We hope that you can cooperate with us and promote ethical practices by showing that challenging hunts are still achievable without delving into the gray area. Safe Den Preservation Society. So that one, if we go to our task list now, Badge of Honor. I love that some of the titles are really punny. Does it say which part of Transylvania this takes place? No. And this is not the Transylvania map. This is the Nespers Pacific Northwest map. The Transylvania map takes place somewhere in Romania. I know the signs are in Romanian. That's all I can tell you. Generally, the maps are pretty vague on where exactly they are taking place. They very much try to avoid specifically saying we are in this one exact location. But if you actually look it up, Nez Perce Valley, which we are in right now, Nez Perce is actually a Native American tribe that exists in the US, in Idaho. The more you know. Okay, where were we going? Oh yeah, objective. So badge of honor. Harvest 3 unspooked American badgers. So it doesn't matter what caliber we use. It doesn't matter how many shots it takes or what distance we are. It just matters that they have not been spooked. That's fairly doable. Hey there. We have a bit of a problem with management of mule deer in the area. As a fellow hunter, I do believe you're familiar with the idea of culling, but let me educate you if you're not. In deer hunting, it's the idea that removing bucks with less than desirable antler characteristics for their age will increase antler quality of future bucks by changing the genetics of the population. It can also mean removing animals based on their individual characteristics to prevent infectious disease transmission. I sure hope that removing a few of the lowest possible numbers will do the trick. Good luck and manage the deer population well. Everett Greed, Deer Association. And that one, deer management, requires us to harvest 5 mule deer bucks with a fitness score of less than 40%, which is yay! We were going to do that anyway, because we were going to try to go for the low fitness ones. But they got to be either adult or mature. So that means any animal we call in that's a young is not going to be eligible for this mission. It's the one downside. Accept a new restaurant order from your grandfather's lodge. Okay, let's go. And we are going to change up our gear a bit once we're done here. So, the restaurant orders will always come in via the laptop in your lodge, so it's useful to check back here every once in a while. Another recipe upgrade from Lin Wei. Hello Wallace, I hope this email finds you well. It doesn't actually, he's currently in a hospital. How are you? How is everything? It's that time of year when Cheng wants to introduce some kind of crazy twist to our menu. You know him, last year the Beijing duck, this year it's our chicken recipe. A midlife crisis can take many forms, I guess this is my husband's. We will be upgrading our General Tso's chicken, but with some pheasant meat. You are welcome to visit us again for your favorite Sichuan hot pot. I'm still holding on to your bottle of shochu. It's waiting for you here. With love, Lin. So, this mission... Oh, right, we have to actually accept it, not just read it. Ha ha ha.
This reminds me when Grandpa went for a pheasant hunt and forgot to take a shotgun.
This dialogue is so important because a lot of people, and I am guilty of this myself on my first playthrough, a lot of people who hear this mission for the first time will try to go out with the guns they already have, which is a tier 4 gun and a tier 5 gun. A pheasant is a tier 1 animal. If you try to shoot a tier 1 animal with a tier 4 weapon, you are going to have like 10 grams of meat left, which is going to make getting 3 kilograms of meat a bit of a chore, to say the least. So the first investment you want to make after you are done with the tutorial is a shotgun. Now, we already have been able to claim the DLC shotguns because we have some paid DLCs which include shotguns. If you don't have the paid DLCs, I honestly recommend just pick the cheapest gun you can, which would be the Bonsai Klein, and just use that. Don't spend too much money. But you should have 1,700 something. Or at least, you should have at least 1,300. I believe we did sell our mule deer and we did sell our badgers. So subtract maybe 300. You should have 1,400, which is enough to buy one of these. And if you care about the perks, then you want to buy the Bonsai Incline because it's a break action. And these are pump actions and semi-automatics. They are not going to advance the shotgun perks. Only the break action ones are actually going to do that. Because each perk, we're going to go back into our character screen for that. each weapon perk only applies to the specific category of actions. For example, break action perks only apply to break action shotguns. Bolt action perks only apply to bolt action shotguns, and they do to bolt action rifles, and they do not stack. So if you get all of these, they do not stack in a row. They only apply to one specific category. This email finds you well reminds me of the meme where a woman hiding below the sink. At the top there is a text, I hope this email finds you well, and she is yelling, stop finding me. Yeah. I mean, the backstory for this game right now is that our grandpa is running a business hunting animals for restaurant orders, and he is currently in a hospital for a heart operation. So we are his grandson from LA who's coming over to help out with the business. Anyway, we already have a shotgun. So we are going to check if we can invest in a good scope instead. So we want to go to shop, attachments. We cannot yet. There are multiple different scopes in here. Some of them are better than others. Most people these days prefer the Bushnell Elite Tactical 3.5 2150. This one has the highest zoom, 21. And it has a very military style layout of the guidelines, I think they're called, which is basically telling you, like, without even using hunter sense, how far do you have to move up and down depending on how far away the animal is. How far do you have to adjust for wind, and so on and so forth. I find this scope a bit cluttered for my tastes. I personally prefer the Overguard long range. It only has a 15 times zoom, but which is still double than of what we have right now. And is still more than enough for me, and the lens has a bit of a tint to it that makes it easier to hunt in low light conditions, at least for me. So that's why I preferred this one. And before anybody asks, no, there is no night hunting gear. There is no night vision, no thermal vision, nothing of that sort. So we're gonna sleep through the nights. Unless a mission specifically requires us to go hunting at night, in which case I'm going to be very sad. Okay, since we do not have another gun that we need, well, we could... Do we have a tier 6 gun, actually? Among any of these that we have right now. We have the Remingtons. And we have the Mannlicher Vorstock. I do want to get the SM12. Let me see where it is. This one. My baby. Oh, those are real names for guns? I think so. Nice. As far as I know, it costs something being allowed to use it. I remember, for example, that Call of Duty couldn't use real names like MP5 since they didn't buy the rights to use it. That is correct. So a lot of those guns are licensed. So the Remington rifles, the Steyr rifles, these are all licensed. The Bear Constrictor bows and crossbows, they are licensed. So they are actual guns and bows that do actually exist in real life. And if you go to their descriptions, which we don't see here, but we can see them in the encyclopedia, those are the actual marketing texts for the guns. Like you can look up, if you look up this gun on the Steyr website, you will find the same blurb down there that you will find in the encyclopedia here. The ammo also is taken from real-life manufacturers. So, and actually there have recently been adjustments to the hit energy to make it more accurate to what's actually like real-life ballistic data. Yeah, license deals are always a bit tricky because they take such a long time. Like anybody who has ever worked on a license deal for anyone will tell you this needs to go through so many rounds of approval and revisions and what have you and not, that it takes forever. Which is part of why a lot of games just file off the serial numbers and give it a custom name, because then it costs a lot less and you get it into the game a lot faster. Let's see. We don't really need this urgently. We do have a tier 6 rifle if we need it. We are going to what we're going to do is we are going to buy some callers. Now, callers are really important in this game if you want to do some herd management, because they will allow you to attract low fitness animals regardless of whether they are whether you can actually see that they are low fitness or not. So remember how I said that every young animal starts out with 1 star and is always 1 star, and every adult animal is usually starts out with 1 star. If you use a caller, you can tell whether a 1-star adult is low fitness or high fitness. So these are really useful, especially since we already have a mission for low fitness animals. So we are going to buy the rattling back, because that also attracts mule deer, and we do have a mission for low fitness mule deer. And most importantly, it attracts lower fitness males at level 1, because when you start out the game, you only have access to level 1. So you want to take callers that attract low fitness males at level 1, which means the Primos rattling back. And we're also going to go with the elk caller, because elks are skittish as hell. And we cannot actually get the Kayi predator call. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, we're going to have to come back later. We're going to put into slot 1 I want to take one of the tier 6 rifles. Or can I load the Mannlicher with ammo that actually puts it firmly into tier 6? This is tier 5, this is tier 6. So we're gonna have to buy some safari ammo. Let's do that. Let's buy some 9.362 Mauser safari ammo. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. There we go. Oof, that's gonna be expensive as hell though. Let's buy one. Buy one, change ammo. I'm gonna load this with our tier 5 ammo. Tier 6 ammo. So we got tier 5 and tier 6. And then we're going to put in the second place our shotgun. We're gonna take this in a Monsky because we're gonna work on the shotgun perks as well. And we're gonna buy... Snemansky is a 12 gauge. We're gonna buy some ammo. Hunting tier 5, hunting tier 4. We're gonna buy some tier 4 ammo. So that if we run into a tier 4 or tier 3 animal, we can use our shotgun for that instead of destroying it with our rifle. I think that will be very useful. Let's take our buckshot, and I keep on forgetting to actually equip my collars. We are going to put the rattling back on here, the elk collar on here, and this is where our predator collar will go later. Let's not forget to equip our scope. All right. Now we're going to go on a bit of a scenic tour throughout Nez Perce Valley. Because I want to pick up as many tasks as possible before we continue with the main mission. So let me just quickly see where we actually need to go. Ah, for fuck's sake. Get that out of here. All right, so we need to definitely go over here and over here because these are cabins and cabins are important. And I'll explain why when we get there. And then just let me see, which of the campsites do we need? There should be a campsite around here. somewhere. So we're gonna go up across the river, and then we're gonna go right here. We're gonna grab this campsite. Then we're gonna go up here to this hut, this cabin. And we're gonna continue right until we get roughly over... Gosh, where is it? It is so hard to see when you have not uncovered those maps yet. I think over here. Let's go, that will be a good start. And again, I could turn on the car radio, but there's a bunch of songs in there that are copyright locked for streaming, so... I'm not gonna do that right now. We're just gonna go pick up some tasks. This is gonna be the boring part of the map, so this is literally just gonna be us driving along, picking up campsite tasks, picking up cabins, getting ready for the hunt. But at least we have a somewhat faster car than the starting car, which is good. Oh, there we go, discovered that point of interest that we previously missed. We want to go right. All right, go right. And now we gotta be on the lookout for whenever we can actually get to that campsite. But I really do love this Nez Perce landscape. Like I said, it reminds me of places where I used to go on summer vacations. And also some places in the US that I would really like to visit. Alright. Oh, there's a moose in the forest over there. Probably gonna spook them in just a second. I will say this, the car moves faster than the spook meter fills, so some people use that as an exploit. Whoa, we just got some lag there. Some people use that as an exploit and basically use the car to get really close to animals and then just shoot them from up close, which... That's not even a challenge anymore. Like, what are you doing to yourself? Okay, I think if we go... Yes, if we go right here and then right again, we should be getting to that campsite. So this is where the game actually wants us to ditch our car and move on without it, but we're just gonna keep on taking the car. Because otherwise this is just gonna take forever and a day. Campsite over there, I think. Yes, no, maybe? Yes, there it is. Let's go. Grab the map. Real hunters don't shoot sitting ducks. Hunters should not have an unfair advantage and the game should have a reasonable chance to escape. These are one of the few rules we choose to obey when we decide to hunt ethically. Thus the saying, "Don't shoot sitting ducks," was born. We have enough advantages as it is. Why make it even easier for ourselves? I suck at shotgun hunting, so we are definitely going to shoot sitting ducks. Prove to me and yourself that you are fair. Wallace Elliott Williott. I'm sorry, Grandpa. I'm going to horribly disappoint you. We are not going to... we are going to shoot sitting ducks. we are going to shoot any sitting duck, pheasant, or scaup that we can. Because I suck at using shotguns. Alright, let's go back to the road. And we continue going north. Right? Yes. And then we go to the right and we get to the cabin. Alright, should be coming up on the intersection very soon. I'm actually amazed that this UTV is sticking so close on the road, because this is not a racing game. It was not made for driving cars. Alright, let's go up. Ah, there we go. Now you see this permission to hunt required. That means that we have landed in private territory. If you shoot an animal in private territory, you will not be able to harvest its body, and at some point, I'm not entirely sure how long you need to wait or what exactly influences it, but if you leave your kill and you fast travel or something, it will be claimed by the landowner. So you do not want to hunt on private land until you have fully unlocked it. Now thankfully, unlocking private land is pretty easy. You can either shell out 4,500 credits for a ticket, or you can go to the cabin and do 3 jobs for the cabin owner.